What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Bear Reacts. Yes, sir. Where every video tells a story. Now, this is a brand new story that's just coming out literally a few days ago. It's pretty crazy. Xavier Wolf. As much as I love Xavier Wolf, bro, this is some crazy stuff. Honestly, not really. I don't know. I think a lot of men have anger issues. Man, there's 8 billion, man. You don't think somebody gets mad, yo. But to do what he's been doing, it sucks to hear, but it's be happening everywhere, yo. This isn't new stuff. But I got this video here today. We're gonna be going over Xavier Wolf's allegations. I'm gonna link the full video down in the description below because it is a long video that I'm gonna be reacting to. So hey, let's get let's get right into it. Almost 600 subscribers. Let's go. Let's go, y'all.
Okay guys, so we're back at it again, and this is one of the biggest allegations that has come out, not only in the trap metal community, but just the whole underground rap scene as a whole.
Okay, I'm sure. Dang, if it's bigger, if it's that big, the biggest one in the trap and emo scene, bruh, there's no way. There is just no way. There's no way.
Xavier Wolf has just been accused of some pretty heinous. Now, if you don't know Xavier Wolf, he's an extremely influential person in the underground scene, working with both Raider Clan and Team Sesh, which is Bones' crew. He was the first ever rapper to go on No Jumper and basically helped to launch that entire platform, and overall he's just influenced countless rappers in the underground scene with his style, music, and everything about him. And all this is to say he's a very well respected, long-lasting member of the underground. He's not just some rapper who blew up a couple years ago, did some dumb shit, and then fell off. This is somebody a lot of people respect, but after this, I'm not sure how you're gonna feel. Once again, you know how I do these videos.
Xavier Wolf, man, he's really good. He's earned his title. He definitely earned his title, but I don't know. To make me not like him no more, I don't know. I've only heard a few things. I heard he kicked his dog and threw his dog and hit his girl and stuff, but some stuff that I don't know about.
I'm basically going to stay unbiased. I don't really have an opinion on Xavier Wolf. I've never listened to him that much. I'm just going to read out what I got here, and then I'm going to give my slight opinions, but not in a biased way, like, oh, I love Xavier's music, so more like I'm just going to try to use a little bit of critical thinking here before just jumping straight on it. Good. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So this all started on Reddit the other day when it
trigger warning, domestic violence, sexual. What? Nah. Animal. This is a long time coming. In September 2018, I began a relationship with Xavier Wolf. We had met a while ago before that, but we were just friends anyway. We began a relationship, and within the 3rd month of being with him, things really took a turn. There was always red flags, like the fact that he would do copious amounts of cocaine, ecstasy, and drink lean every week for days, but the verbals,
victim posted about her story, and here it is. Xavier Wolf, abusive to women, trigger warning, domestic violence, abuse, and animal abuse. This is a long time coming, ... In September 2018, I began a relationship with Xavier Wolf. He had met me a while ago before that, but we were just friends. Anyways, ... We began a relationship that he would do copious amounts of cocaine, ecstasy, and drink lean every week for days, but the verbals, emotionals, and physicals really started. I'm going to post a screenshot of the event of what I had to write down to send to my lawyer. Going to attach what I wrote since it's too many screenshots. He did all these things to me. He would force me to do drugs with him and sometimes force me to do things with him when I didn't want to. When I didn't want to do drugs with him or have with him or give him head, he would force me. For Christmas, he bought me a dog. Her name is Ramen. This man is so evil and unhinged that he would take his anger out on Ramen. Ramen was still a baby. We got her at 3 months.
Bro, that's crazy. I can't imagine what that's like. I hope these are just allegations. This is some bad stuff.
Months, and at only 3 months old, he was beating her. She was so scared of him that every time she saw him, she would poop herself. He would throw her across the room, he would grab the TV remote and hit her with it. When I would try to defend her or protect her, he would just end up hitting me and throwing me across the room. The memories of this make my heart hurt. It makes me cry and sick to my stomach, till this day. A helpless little dog getting abused for no reason. One time I tried to call the police, he broke my phone, he broke my glasses. So many of my things he broke. The justice system failed me though. I called the cops one time and all he got was probation. He had to donate money. I tried to sue him and he tried to settle for $10,000, but I said no and pushed for more, and eventually nothing ended up happening. All I got was a restraining order that lasts for 5 years. December 2nd, after his show in LA, him and I were arguing about me overhearing him telling some girls that he wanted them to come over. He said it wasn't true. We kept fighting on the way back until we got to the apartment, continued to fight in his room. Ash and her friend tried to talk to me and calm me down, went downstairs to hang out and drink more with everyone, and then I went to sleep. He woke me up yelling that I ruined his night and that he just wanted to turn up with his girlfriend, that he could have anybody there, but he chose to have me there. He was doing coke and telling me to do coke. I didn't want to, but he kept peer pressuring me and threatening me, saying if I didn't do it, then I would have to leave, and he was going to call someone else to do coke with him. I did 2 lines. He calmed down a bit, but I didn't want to continue. I was just laying there. He came beside me and grabbed me by my arm, and then grabbed my bra and ripped it off as he brought me to the bed, then grabbed me and took me downstairs and forcefully pushed me out of his apartment without my belongings, car keys, purse, clothes, and closed the door. I started knocking on the door. He opened the door and then grabbed me by my arm and took me upstairs. As we got to this room, he threw me against the bathroom door and I fell to the floor. I remember being hurt from my leg and it was difficult to walk up the stairs and down the stairs for 2 days. As I got up, I tried walking to the other side of the room and sat down on the bed. He followed.
This sounds like a horror story. This sounds like a horror story. I'm not gonna lie, yo. This is some crazy stuff. Man, this is some crazy stuff.
Followed me and I said I wanted to go home to my parents, and he grabbed me off the bed and headbutted me. Then he said he was going.
I don't understand how dudes can do this. If you're a guy who like hits things, well, he is under the influence too. He'd probably be overthinking too. Can't let it control you. That's some bad stuff. You gotta have control. Can't lose control. That's the thing. It's hard to, but that's what makes you strong, and that's what makes you a man. You know, that's what makes you a man for real. Is when you can hold it back. Oh, nah, that's bad stuff.
Going to call his sister Ash to come fight me. I talked him out of it and I ended up doing cocaine all morning with him and having sex. December 28th, 2018, the night we got ramen. I woke up about 2 a.m. because I could not go back to sleep. Long story short, he tried to force me to go back to bed and I didn't want to. He grabbed me and held me down to go to sleep. I got upset and said something about it. He then flipped out and he tried to kick me out as
holding her down to go to sleep. Go to sleep! Go to sleep! Bro, imagine doing that. Bro, like, this is your girlfriend. Go to sleep! Go to sleep! Ah!
as we just kept arguing. I had a sweater on that he bought me and he told me to take it off before I left. I did not want to, and I got my things, got up and started walking away. He then grabbed me and tried forcing me to take the sweater off. I kept trying to get away. He then pushed me against the wall hard and I fell and threw my stuff everywhere. I tried to get up to go downstairs. He then pushed me against the wall besides the studio room and was yelling all types of things in my face and wouldn't let me go. I said I was going to call the police. He grabbed my phone and threw it and then started smashing it, yelling, "You see this? What phone now? You're not going to call anyone. This is what you fucking get." I remember I went downstairs to get a knife because I was scared. He took the knife from me and cut me on my little finger. Since he broke my phone, I saw his laptop and went
on my little finger. He said little finger. Bro, my little finger.
to go get it to throw it outside. Went to the balcony and he chased after me, tackled me down, and when I fell, I scraped my knee. After that, we sat down on the couch, talked things over, and got over it. Can't remember the date of this event, but one time he was mad. I don't know why. He just got off the phone with his mom, and I think he was annoyed with her. He spilled weed all over the floor and started yelling at me, telling me to vacuum it, and when I didn't get up quick enough, he yelled at me even more. He kept yelling at me to go get the vacuum and vacuum it. He would always start fights with me about nothing or just get mad about anything. He'd push me around. When I found girl clothes, he went to the closet and took all the girl clothes he had in the closet, yelling at me saying, "You want to look through my make sure you get everything, and threw my clothes at me and told me he'd throw it away in the trash. I said I didn't want to be pushed around, and he yelled at me more, insulting me. He forced me to throw the clothes away in the trash can. This part I'm a little bit confused about. I'm not sure what she means by girl clothes. I'm not sure if she means like she bought herself nice clothes and then he said he wanted her to throw them away because it was in his closet, or like he had another girl over and then he had her clothes there in his closet. She discovered that and got upset. Not really sure, but either way, February 9th, 2019. After a show...
Yeah, either way, that's a crazy, Jesus. I don't know, but see, this could just be her trying to, like, start some stuff up, too. That's what you got to be careful about. But also, you have to keep in mind, he might be doing this stuff. The thing is, she could just be making all this up. She could be delusional AF. I'm just saying. That's, you know, because, oh, man. You have to look at it from both sides. Xavier Wolf needs to come out on this stuff.
From Pomona, he did Molly that night. He received a phone call. I told him to pick it up. It was a girl. She said things that made me question him. I told him to let me see the messages in his phone. His other phone was downstairs. We went downstairs, got the phone, and he deleted the messages. We went back upstairs and he tried to explain himself to me. I said I wanted to go home and got up. He threw me back down on the bed and started choking me. Eventually he stopped and I got up to start to pack my things while arguing with him. I got downstairs and he said to please just stay one more night with him to sleep with him. I didn't want to, but he dragged me upstairs by my arms. While getting drag, I managed to get up, and then he grabbed me by my arms and forced me to go into his room. He pushed me down on the bed. I didn't feel like fighting back anymore. I was too afraid, and eventually I fell asleep. Honestly, can't really remember what happened, but I have pictures from that night, and I have bruised eyes and marks all over my body and neck, which I vaguely remember. He was yelling at me and smacking me in the face. What I do remember is we went to Big Bear the following day, and I remember after we got to Big Bear, I went to take a shower, and I was just crying in the bathroom, thinking to myself, this just isn't right. February 23rd, I reposted a post on my Instagram about guys who do cocaine and how they can't get their private parts to work. He saw it and got upset. He didn't talk to me for the whole day. Until later at night when I talked on the phone, he was being rude and telling me mean things. I hung up on him. I had to do a video shoot that same day and he got upset with me because he thought I was having sex with guys, not actually doing a video shoot. He said he had to leave and that same day do a show in Dallas. He kept calling me at night, but my friend convinced me not to answer his calls because he was being rude and saying mean things. When I did talk to him the next day, I finally talked to him and went over to his house, and he started questioning me about what I did the previous night. We went upstairs, got in his bed, and went back downstairs. I was on Instagram and found out that he had lied to me about going to the show in Dallas, so I called him upstairs and told him I was tired of him lying and was going to leave. As soon as I got up from the bed, he grabbed me by my neck and pushed me on the bed by my neck. I tried to get up, and he immediately grabbed me by my head and headbutted me 3 times, one time after the other. I started to see stars, and I fell back on the bed. I got nauseous and got up to go to the restroom. I touched where he headbutted me, and I could feel a big bump. When I got up to go to the restroom, he then pushed me against the wall. I fell, and when he looked down on me, he helped me get up and started to say he was sorry and started hugging and kissing me. When I finally got to the bathroom, I looked to see I had a huge bump on my forehead. He kept saying he was sorry, and I left. I got in my car and called domestic violence hotline, but it was frustrating because no one was answering. Until I found another number and someone answered. I stayed on the phone for a bit, then I saw that he was calling me, so I called back. We talked, I went back to his apartment, he left me to buy me an ice pack, and I stayed in his bed. I had a very bad headache and I stayed in bed all day. When his friends arrived, I ended up leaving because he couldn't freak out in front of them, and then I went to the hospital. And I just gotta say, fuck that domestic abuse hotline. Like, somebody's calling and nobody's picking up the phone. There should be somebody to pick up the phone at all hours of the day, and there should be people to get to you right away. Like, that's
that's crazy. Yo, somebody is trying to call they're getting beat. Yo, and like nobody's answering, bruh. There can't be that many lines taken up. That's crazy.
Emergency. I don't understand why nobody picked up. April 13th, 2019, he pushed me against the wall because he thought I didn't want him to go out with my brother and I. My friend Sarah was over at the time and she was downstairs. And when I went back downstairs, she asked me what happened because she heard yelling and a loud thud. April 16th, 2019 in Australia. When he got to the hotel from the airport, he took a shower, and when he got out, I noticed he was angry. I asked him what was wrong. He started asking me who I was better than him in bed with and who was bigger. I didn't feel comfortable answering these questions. He got mad at me, started going crazy on me, yelling and saying mean things. I got up and was trying to leave the hotel. When I got up, he pushed me against the wall and I fell. I tried to get up, and as I was getting up, he pushed my head back down. I fell again. I got up and said I was going to tell his mom that was in the room next to us. As I was going to the door, he came in front of me and pushed me down by my neck. I'm assuming she must have blacked out the rest of that event, but I am interested to hear if she actually got to the mom and what the mom did in that event, because unfortunately in a lot of these cases, the mothers try to defend their sons even as bad as their actions are. April 18th, 2019 in Melbourne, he was sleeping sleeping, his phone went off. I saw that it was a girl and woke him up to question him about it. He got angry, grabbed my phone, and threw it at me. I just sat there and cried. Now those are some hefty allegations, I have to say, but she does have pictures of the events, so let's take a look at them. So she has a picture of that giant lump that she mentioned, and it shows on February 24th, 2019 exactly where she was, and I have to say that is a pretty fucking nasty lump. We then have a picture of this, and I think this is going to show that her eyes are kind of bruised up. She's cuts on her legs, her fingers. I think this one might actually be from the whole knife event that she mentioned. I don't need to commentate all of this, I'll just show you the pictures. Another one on the back of her leg. She then has a family therapy report here that says started participating in individual therapy on January 15th, 2020. She's being seen to address symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety with the results of trauma she has had reported. She's experiencing these symptoms from domestic violence. Her symptoms include nightmares, unable to sleep, distrustful of others, and she avoids relationships. Client report, I don't feel like myself, feeling abnormal and being unable to enjoy activities that I used to enjoy. She is also suffering physical symptoms as well, such as nausea and heart-pounding anxiety. Also reports that she was threatened by the attacker's new girlfriend, which is also causing her to feel paranoid. Client has tried to move forward, but is often triggered by flashback memories that refresh the trauma in her thoughts and feelings. She's been encouraged to see a primary medical doctor as well to help with any need for medication support as the symptoms at time reportedly become unmanageable. She will be seen weekly, but this can be increased or decreased depending on the urgency of her symptoms. Then a picture of them together on April 21st, 2019, and then there's another picture of them together, which I think must be the dog, and I just have to say that's even sadder. I don't know why in my brain I was picturing a bigger dog, but that's just a tiny little thing, so if that dog's getting abused, that's just...
This is Xavier and the girl that he be beating, and the dog that he be beating. Bruh. This is actually way deeper than I thought it would go. Bro. What? This is crazy.
Fucking awful. I mean, I'm not saying it's better if it's a bigger dog, but anyways, you know what I mean. Then post a couple more pictures, one of him looking really out of it at the club. Then she posted another picture of the dog, which once again is just small, must have been new. More pictures of her paperwork, showing that she's been going to regular therapy since all these events. And then there's a picture of her, and I think that must be his mom, maybe. Then a picture of him with a Kleenex up his nose, I'm assuming to stop the blood because he's doing so much cocaine, or at least that's the insinuation. Then a picture of him DMing her saying, unblock me, jackass. You so full of shit. I don't believe shit you say, so just stop. Laugh my ass off. You're ridiculous. I know you fucking around. Grow up and be real. Let's not waste any more time. There's bruises on her neck. There's a picture of that. More bruises on her face. She then shows a picture of Google Maps showing that they were together in Australia, and basically all of these pictures are just to corroborate that she was actually there with them at the time that she's speaking of. And I have to say, being so specific with the dates and times that these happened definitely add a lot of credence to her story. You know, any girl could say I got abused at this point, right. You know, it happened here, blah blah blah, this happened, but she's saying like this specifically happened at this date at this time, and she can actually explain what happened in detail, so that really kind of goes to prove that it probably did happen, but let's just keep looking. I went last night to get the rest of my stuff, and of course he didn't allow me to leave, so he choked me, headbutted me 3 times, choked me again, pushed me against the wall. I'm safe now, but very physically hurt, on my way to the hospital. Did you make it out with your things? That's a final glaze at your life.
Is
you're leaving behind. You never have to deal with that ever again.
I can't believe it.
I had to stay the night to prevent him from flipping out.
There's no way. I can't believe, I can't believe it. It's just like, bro, you would not believe this if there was not proof. I feel like, man, it's crazy. Man, I hope it's not Photoshop or any. Oh my God. I don't think this would go into Photoshop. Oh, this is deep.
But that's most likely messages between her and her friend, but after that, that is basically her entire story. I have to say, this story is fucking disgusting, and as much as I just don't want to react right away, because a lot of times people can't hype shit up to make it look worse, with the specifics of knowing each date when stuff happens, as well as having the map to show that she was actually there on those dates, as well as the pictures looking pretty gnarly, I don't know what else to say. You know, this is an event where a girl puts a couple scratches on her neck and then says, you know, somebody hit me. There's a huge lump on her head. How did she get that if he didn't give it to her? But you know, I'm gonna keep looking. There's a little bit more to this story than that, because Xavier actually admitted to it, and bear with me because he didn't use a single.
5 years ago, I would have to say was the darkest time of my life. I hurt people I loved, I hurt my friends, and I hurt my family. What I did. Okay, sorry, my phone died, or it ran out of storage, whatever. So I was reading this. 5 years ago, I would have to say was the darkest time of my life. I hurt people I loved, I hurt my friends, and I hurt my family. What I did back then, there's no excuse for it. I was ashamed then and still ashamed now since I've been
comma, so it's kind of hard to read, but he says, 5 years ago, I'd have to say was the darkest time of my life. I hurt people I loved, I hurt my friends, and I hurt my family. What I did back then, there's no excuse for it. I'm ashamed, and I'm still ashamed now. Since then, I've been doing things I think necessary to better myself with therapy, anger management, and rehab. I hate when motherfuckers come to the internet to apologize because that doesn't solve anything. What really solves the problem is doing something about it, which is what I've spent the time trying to do. Since that time, and I will continue. The people that support me, I love you to death. It kills me to have to let y'all down like this. Okay, so first things first, big ups to him, I guess, for actually acknowledging it and not continuing to fight and say it's not true. That's all I'm gonna give him here, because a lot of people just ignore it or try to say that. He did acknowledge it, but now let's get into it. First off, the wording, this is the darkest time of my life. That's trying to gain some sympathy from you. It's the darkest time in your life, Xavier, not for her, not for the girls. It was dark for you. I'm glad you went to anger management. I'm glad you went to rehab, but do you think that's gonna take away the hurt that went down there? I'm all for people apologizing, and I truly do believe if you are a domestic...
Oh, it's getting, bruh, this guy is trying to make everything okay, man. He admitted it. He admitted it all. He admitted it. That's basically, there we go. He admitted it. He admitted it. Yep. That's crazy. That's crazy, 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 crazy stuff. Wow. Huh. Xavier Wolf. I'm gonna stop the video there because this is some crazy stuff. I don't think anything can change what you did, the damage that you've done, you know. If you guys want to go finish listening to that video, I'm gonna link the full video down in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Let's go. Yeah, man, let's catch y'all, man, in the next video. It's been Bear with React. If ain't a React with Bear, it ain't a React at all. Let's go, man. Yes, and the story on today's video, Xavier Wolf is an abuser. Man, that's crazy. I just can't believe it. That's crazy stuff. Crazy. I was not expecting to hear that today. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah.